Hello there and welcome back to That Handicapping Show sponsored by TwinSpires.com. I'm Jason Chandler along with Tom Lamaro and Les Instone from Twin Spires. This week's featured race is the Hal's Hope Stakes from Gulfstream. We'll also touch on the San Pasquale from Santa Anita. Before we get started with those, I'd like to mention a new twist we're going to have here on That Handicapping Show. Starting today, we're going to keep track of our bankroll through a running total. So we'll each get $20 to play mythically each race, and we'll keep track of it from week to week so we know how we're doing. And you guys know how we're doing. Nothing like a little accountability, Tom.
No, you know what? It's a good thing, but we know how this goes. The trick is to still pick horses that you like, because we want to pick winners and not to be all caught up in, I've lost $300. It's March. I need to hit a superfecta. That, as you know, I normally wouldn't pick. So,
right.
My strategy is to keep, some win plays, some exactas, maybe a try here and there, and see what happens. But it should be fun, and I'm sure, we'll have attacks on this show.
We'll have fun with it, and we can compare how we do to the professionals. And a lot of pressure on you guys because you're supposed to be the professionals, so you should. You ready, Les?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, let's get into it. We're going to start with the Hal's Hope, which is on opening weekend of Gulfstream. It's for 4-year-olds and up, going a mile on the main track, and it drew a field of 7. The morning line favorite here is going to be Morning Line, who really came into his own last year. He won the Pennsylvania Derby and then really was the best horse in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. He got caught at the wire by Dakota Phone, who's ironically in the San Pasquale that we'll talk about in a minute. Also of note in here is Rule, who makes a comeback after being on the Triple Crown Trail last year. He won the Sam Davis and was one of the Derby I'm not going to say Derby favorites, but he was definitely a horse that people were mentioning, and he was taken out of consideration for the Derby and hasn't run since the Florida Derby in March, but he returns here. He's been working well at Palm Meadows for Todd Pletcher, but good betting race here, even though there's 7. Which way did you lean, Tom?
Well, I went with the Morning Line favorite, Morning Line. This is really a nice field. It's a one-turn mile, of course, and these horses will stretch out, I would imagine, in their next starts. Morning Line, he's quick. I like his work pattern. He's had some quick works at Palm Meadows, but his last one, was a little bit slower than the one before, the last one on January 1st. So that was about a week ago. I think he's ready to go. There is some speed in this race, so I'll be curious to see how it plays out. I'm really not expecting Rule to be, that sharp, that quick from the gate in his first start back. But the rail horse, Tackleberry, is quick and could be a problem. But I think Morning Line, if he's ready, that he has the class to win this. And I do agree with you. I do think that he ran the best race in the Breeders' Cup Mile. He just got beat because the fractions were too fast.
He got compromised by a hot pace.
Yeah.
I think you like Morning Line here, too.
I love Morning Line here, too.
I think the way the race is going to set up here is what you said. Tackleberry and Rule will go out, and Morning Line will kind of maybe just sit right in back of them.
And I think Rule will be right in that mix near the front also.
Yeah. My feeling is Morning Line is going to be one of the top older horses this year, and he could even, it's very early to talk about this, but he could be in the mix for a horse of the year.
Yeah.
He's
sharp horse.
I assume that Zito is going to point him for the Don and then the Stephen Foster and all the big ones in New York. So I think this horse has the chance to be really special this year, and he's wasting no time trying to prove that. I guess he'll probably be. We were discussing this for the race. Will he be 5-2? Will he be odds on? My feeling he's going to be odds on.
I'll say 2-1.
2-1. If I would love
I'll
to,
say lower a bit.
I would love to get that price. If he is odds on, the trick I guess is how to play the race. So how are you guys going to play it?
I'm going to play an exacta, and for our $20 wager, I'll take Morning Line on top, Tackleberry second, and Rule third. Rule's coming back after that long layoff, almost a year, 10 months, whatever. I think he'll be in the mix early, but I don't know if he'll be able to stay up with Morning Line and Tackleberry at the end.
My price horse, I think, is going to be Soaring Empire. I don't know what kind of price he is, but I think he'll be decent. He was a little bit overmatched in Cigar Mile, but he still ran a decent race. He's been keeping good company all of last year. He's faced some good horses. He won at Gulfstream last year, and if it's a quick pace, I think it might set up for him to at least get a piece. So I'm going to use him in my exacta. I'll play Morning Line to win and use Soaring Empire Roll and Morning Line in my trifecta.
All right, we're kind of on the same page there. Morning Line straight up, and my sole exacta is Morning Line with Soaring Empire, and I'll flip it because I do think that when he's right, he can come flying. He's a good one-turn horse, and
Soaring Empire.
yeah. So those are my only two horses in the race, and we'll play them accordingly in an exacta.
Okay, let's move on to the San Pasquale, which is at 1.16 on the Santa Anita Dirt. It's got a ring to it, doesn't it? The Santa Anita Dirt.
Yes.
Love that. Drew a small field of 6, and the Morning Line favorite here is going to be Dakota Phone, who we already talked about winning that Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile at 37-1. Hollendorfer obviously thinks he's better on dirt, and he was 4th last out in the Native Diver, but he was kind of compromised by a slow pace there. He's obviously a closer, didn't get any pace in there. The horse that won that race, Aggie Engineer, is back. Aggie Engineer set a soft pace and was able to go wire to wire. So the second place horse from that native diver is also back, Spurrier, who's one of 2 entries for Bob Baffert here. So which way do you lean here, Les?
I went with Dakota Phone. I think the pace will be enough, and in a 6-horse field, I don't think he'll have any trouble making up the ground. Then I took Aggie Engineer second, so they'll flip-flop their last race this time around. And Red Door Drive is my third choice.
Yeah.
So for our exacta, I took Dakota Phone over Aggie Engineer and Red Door Drive.
Yeah, Red Door Drive is my pick. I don't really like Aggie Engineer in this spot. I think he got away with an easy pace that he's not going to get away with here. I think Rye Hill Dreamer will show a little speed here, and he's not going to get away with that. Dakota Phone obviously is the horse to beat, but I don't know how much, even with a contested pace, I don't know how much speed is in here for him. So I'm going to take a chance with Red Door Drive, who's 1 of 2 for Baffert in here. He's raced 11 times in 2010. Won 3 times. He's ran a good race at Fairplex on dirt a couple back in September. So I think he'll hopefully improve on dirt again. He's 3 for 4 to distance here, and Baffert and Martin Pedroza are off to a red hot start at Santa Anita. So I'm gonna take a chance with a little price here.
All right.
You're not in love with this race.
With
are
our
you?
new structure, I need to play the $20. I really hate this race, and quite frankly, I normally wouldn't bet it. The horse that I like, and strictly on the fact that he's run on the dirt in his last 4 starts, is Quindici Man. Valenzuela rides. I don't know how he measures up in the class department. He is a closer, but if I'm going to play this race, I want a price horse, and I think that he may be a decent price in here. Aggie Engineer, I still think is the speed of the race, and I would use that horse. I do like Red Door Drive. I've never really been a Dakota Phone fan, to be honest with you. I don't even know if I'll throw him in or not, but Quindici Man, Aggie Engineer, Red Door Drive.
Okay. Yeah, I think I might leave out Dakota Phone too. And use Baffert's other horse, Spurrier, who's usually right around the money. So we'll see. It's not a big field, but a decent betting race.
It is a good betting race, and with Aggie Engineer never running on dirt, you don't know how he's really going to run.
Right.
On this new surface.
That's a good point. Okay, so 2 good races here to start the year, and what's going on at Twin Spires?
Well, the big thing, January 22nd, there's a handicapping contest, and the top 5 finishers will go to the Horse Player World Series this February. So it's for this year's Horse Player World Series. So check the website for more details on that and other promotions.
Okay. Thanks to Twin Spires and Briss, our sponsors, and thanks to everybody for watching. For Tom and Les, I'm Jason. Good day and good racing.